So, today we are going to do some tapping on something that a lot of times people will feel if they're going to be changing their money experience. Now, you might have been somebody who had a lot of money at one point and maybe you've lost it, so to speak, or you don't currently have a lot anymore. And so there's a transition there and there's a difference there in your experience. And you might be thinking, people won't like me because maybe you felt a lot of your worth or a lot of your connections were money based. On the flip side of that, there are people who haven't allowed a lot of money into their experience and they want to, and yet they're concerned to because they're afraid of people's responses and think people won't like me. So, if any part of you, for any reason, is thinking people won't like you, I'm going to tell it to you straight. There are already people who don't like you. All right? There are going to be people who don't like you. Whether you have a lot of money, whether you have enough money, however you want to judge enough, or whether you don't have a lot of money or enough money. It doesn't matter. There will always be some people who don't like you. Get over it. Okay? That's what we're going to do some tapping on because that's really not a good reason to restrict yourself. And like I mentioned in the very first one of these, um, yeah, I'm focusing on tapping for money here, but really this can go for all sorts of different things. And as long as you have the feelings of, if I change in some way, someone's not going to like me anymore, I want you to think for a moment about the people in your life and whether or not you want them to stay there. And if you do, why? Because if your only reason for somebody being your friend, for example, or so-called friend, is because of your money, consider getting friends who like you for who you are and don't care how much money you have. All right? And if you want to just have those ties and have the money, that's fine too. But having the clarity on it and getting really sure about what it is you want and why is beneficial for you no matter what the reasoning is. I'm not here to judge you, you do your thing, but seriously, not everyone's going to like you, not everyone likes you now. And so that's not going to be a very good reason in order to keep yourself from experiencing more abundance in terms of finances, okay? Okay, let's just tap. I could go on and on. So, taking full responsibility for your well-being and all the benefits you gain from this, including the money abundance. Some people won't like me if I have more money. Some people don't like me now because I have less money than I did. Some people just get mad about money in general and anybody who has it. Some people get mad about money in general and anybody who doesn't have it. Quite frankly, there's a lot of opinion involving money. There's a lot of emotion. And I cannot change how other people think or feel about it. And I'm not interested in telling other people how they should think or what they should feel. I can and will take ownership of my own thoughts and feelings on this, though. I choose to feel good about having the amount of money I desire. And I choose to experience that no matter what anyone else thinks. Okay, eyebrow point. Some people won't like me if I have more money. Side of the eye. Some people won't like me because I've lost some money. Under the eye. Some people just get really angry or upset about money existing in the first place. Under the nose. Quite frankly, some people just like getting upset about a lot of different things. Under the mouth. And my question to myself is, why do I care? Collarbone. Why do I care whether or not people like me? Under the arm. If somebody likes me because I have money, is that someone I want in my life? Top of the head. If somebody doesn't like me because I used to have a lot of money and now I don't, is that someone I want in my life? Do I really want whether or not I'm valued and appreciated to be because of finances? Sometimes the relationship really is built on who has the money. Because, for example, if I am backing something financially, that's an important thing to note. But I'm not really trying to be friends with the people I'm backing financially necessarily. And if we are friendly, that's all well and good. But being an investor or being somebody who funds a project or something is not the same as my value being tied to money. There are people who will like me and stand by me regardless of how much money I have or don't have. And there are people who won't like me, even if they know nothing about how much money I have or don't have. There are people who might like to see me stay in poverty because that's what they're used to. Some people are afraid of change. Some people will feel jealous, and some people are super insecure. So, if we can take money out of the equation for a moment, I want to ask myself, why do I care whether or not a person likes me? I'm going to go ahead and say, do I like myself? And if the answer is yes, then excellent, wonderful. And if the answer is no, that's great, you're being honest. What would make you like yourself more? There is a lot of judgment about money in our world. There's a lot of criticism for people who have it and people who don't. And there's a lot of stress for people who are in between there too. Let's call it potential stress, though, because some people have had a lot of money and then it kind of ebbs and flows. And some people have not had much money at all and get angry about it. And some people think that money is evil and terrible. And I'll generalize and say that most people would say that they'd rather have more money than not. And if you think that something is wrong or bad, like having money but not enough money, but enough money, so that you can live comfortably in how you want to, but you're not in that 1% that everybody judges the harshest. So that you have enough that you are fun and enjoyable, but not so much so that you're just a jerk with a whole bunch of money. I'm going to encourage you to tap on this more if you have a lot of judgments or beliefs, because it would be great to do some rounds on that and then to replace them with better feeling thoughts. You don't have to repeat that part that I just said. I just want to focus right now on caring about what other people think. Abraham Hicks has said pretty much, paraphrasing here, that the worst thing that you could do is think that something is wrong or bad for you and do it anyway. Again, you don't have to repeat this part. I'm just going to do some quicker tapping on some things. Keep tapping around with me. So if you think that having money makes you bad or inappropriate in some way, you're going to stop yourself from allowing that amount of money that you think is too much. You're going to say, okay, it's fine for me to have enough money so that I can pay my bills and live where I want to live and perhaps travel a few times a year if I want to. But what you're not going to do is allow yourself to have enough to live fully abundantly so that you don't have to be looking at the cost of things, or so that you don't have to be focused upon money in that way at all. Because if you have the money and you can just do what you want, does that make you a bad person? No, it doesn't make you a bad person, but do you believe that it makes you a bad person? If you have the belief that the people who have a lot of money or the ability to live how they please because they have enough money flowing, that if that makes you bad or inappropriate or in some way, or people won't like you because most people aren't experiencing that, then you're going to stop yourself from allowing the money. And you're going to cap yourself at something that's way lower than what you could have. And a huge part of what I'm trying to do is to help people to circulate money instead of feeling like it's just a give and take. Because circulating money, just like breathing air, is a cycle. And that means that you can give money and you can receive money. I like to call it investing. And when you're doing that, it's not fear and lack based where you're concerned that there's not going to be more. Because I'm trusting right now as I'm tapping that I'm going to have more oxygen to breathe as I speak and as I inhale. So I'm not like, oh my gosh, I'm in this room and there's only so much air. I'm not doing that. And so much of our society is kind of trained to believe that there's not enough. Sorry, that's my light. But we're making the money, and if we had reason to, we could make more of it. And we have cryptocurrency, and we have other types of money coming into play. So it's a really great idea for us to get comfortable with having money, having abundance, and having the ability to live the life we really want to be living. And let it be an example. Whether somebody likes it or not is about them and not about us. If you're tapping with me right now, it's because you want to have a different relationship with money abundance than you have. And sometimes people see something that they want and haven't let in yet, and they get angry or they get jealous or they feel hurt and insecure about it. Okay, so what? That's their choice. They get to choose how they feel, how they react, how they respond. But you also get to be an example of something that they want existing. And maybe they need a little bit of space or time to adjust to the fact that you're living differently now. That does not mean that you should cut them off or that they need to cut you off. The people who are ready to have a different experience will welcome it. Just be an example of living what you want to live and let the money in. Not the money in so that you're hoarding it and holding on to it for fear of lack of control, lack of power, lack of whatever it is that you think money represents. Letting it in like you're breathing air, you're circulating it, and you're saying, yes, I can have this, and then I can also invest in this. I can spend money confidently and comfortably because I know more money is out there and it's going to come back to me. Money is energy, and energy likes to move. Why not let it move through you? You can be an example of somebody who happily pays your bills. You can be an example of somebody who goes and gets that very high quality furniture or buys the one of a kind thing that some artist made. You get to support the things and the people and the places and all sorts of things that you want to support. Why on earth would you not want to do that? Some people won't like it. I getcha. So what? Really? Some people don't like you now. They're not going to like you then. Oh well. New people will like you. And hopefully you'll like yourself. Okay. I will point out, normally when we do tapping, you can do it as I say something and then you repeat it, but you can totally do tapping along like what we just did when I sped up because I did not want to slow down for that. It would be much longer. This is already like 20 minutes. And also, you can literally just tap the same thing over and over again. If somebody says, or if you have the fear that somebody isn't going to like you because of something changing in your life, let's stay focused on money. So you have more money all of a sudden, and they know it. They recognize all of a sudden maybe you're eating different foods, or you're driving a new car, or certain things that used to concern you, you're not really concerned about anymore. They're going to pick up on that. And some people are going to be really, really happy for you, and they're going to be inspired by you. And some people will be afraid, and they might pull away from you. They're going to feel like they don't connect with you anymore. They're going to feel like, oh, okay, we're not in the same playing field anymore. There's so much loaded stuff about money, and it doesn't have to be that way. So I encourage you, if it comes up, take a moment and say to yourself, okay, so and so might not like me, or I can feel their fear, or I can see their expression and they're disapproving. And okay, it's okay if they disapprove. It's okay if they don't understand. Please stop holding yourself back from living your best life just because somebody might not like it. Okay, That's okay. Not everyone's going to like you. Accept that. Like yourself. Please like yourself. The people who will like you, the people who will be happy about it, are going to be amazing in your life. And you're going to welcome new people in your life. You're going to welcome new experiences the same way that you're welcoming more money, more people, more of the stuff that you want, more of all the connections to the things that you truly desire and that you deserve to be living. Okay? This is long enough. Hopefully that was helpful. I'm going to keep doing more money taps because I've got way more that I want to tap on. And yeah, I hope you join me if this is resonating and if it's useful.